Hey guys, my name is Adrian, and today we're going to talk about the purpose of life. Anyways, that is a very link-bait sort of title, but yeah, it's one of the things I want to do with the change up of this channel. I want to talk about some philosophical topics, and I think life is one of those that is very controversial, and it's one that I get a lot of, have a lot of thoughts on. I see a lot of people talk about. It was actually stemmed from my friend who shared a video, Jamal. He reblogged a video via Tumblr, and it got me interested in talking about it because I see a lot of people. I have a lot of friends I know, and especially my age group. It's one of those, like, not a fad or a trend, but to kind of contemplate life and all that. And to me, I'm 18. I don't know everything that there is about life, and I never will, and I don't pose myself to. Um, but the thing is, it's something that I see a lot of people contemplate and all that. And I feel like it's something that you shouldn't worry, especially at a younger age. It's something that you shouldn't worry so much about, but at the same time, it's also something you should never not just think about. It's there's a balance to it. But overthinking, over worrying about it, especially at a young age, your primary job is to live it. That is your main purpose. And if anything, to simplify it, I believe that the purpose in life is to that of keep on redefining your purpose as you grow, as you mature, as you go into different stages of your life. And right now, for example, mine, I guess, in transitional period would be that of adulthood. 18, you're labeled as an adult. This is a big step in, I guess, the whole thing of life, because that's you've got to start assuming responsibilities for yourself and the things that you do. A lot of it now falls on you. There's parents there, of course, but your responsibility now. It's all on you. You're old enough, you're legally old enough to assume role and responsibility for yourself. Um, so that being said, I want to address one of the, obviously, I believe what would be the elephant in the room when it comes to a video like this, that of religion, because I feel like religion, and I don't want to get too into this, I'm not trying to make this a debate, but that's something that is very going to change your skew and your perspective of how you look at life. Now, me personally, I don't believe in a higher power. I don't believe in a God, a heaven, or hell, because I don't believe in heaven. I don't believe in hell. That's just how it is for me. I don't have a personal belief in that. I don't. I feel for a whole bunch of other reasons, but when it comes to life, I don't want to live life based on guidelines. Saying this is how you live life, doing these things, and for the most part, people break these things anyway. And with this kind of fear that if I do this, I'll end up here, or if I make these mistakes, I'll end up here. Um, that's not the way I want to live life. That's not the way I choose to perceive life, and I don't necessarily worry about where I'm going to go after. And I know that changes my viewpoint on life, because a lot of people do good things and they base morality off of a secure spot in this place, where I think you should do good things for the purpose of doing good things. And that said, life in its simplest form is birth and death, and everything in between is life. There's your crazy special fact that I'm not going to insert, or maybe I will. But that's the thing. Life is birth and death. In between, that's all that matters. You can't tell me so much about before birth, and not a lot of people, or anybody, I believe, can tell you after death what it's like. It's simply what you do in between, in the grand scheme of things, that matters. What you did while you were alive, that is the thing of life, and life coincides with that of death. That's why it's mentioned so much. It's they're made for another. Death brings in the way for new life, and life brings that of death, because the only guarantee you get from the minute you're born into this world is that one day you may die, and there's no span of how long you're going to go from here to, birth to death. There's no span. You never know. That's something that we can't predict, or we can't put a date on, for example. So that being said, like I said, what is the purpose to me? The purpose for me, anyways, is that you come into this life and you contribute what you can to it. You contribute to the world. You do what you can while the time that you're here. And I believe, to me, there's no better feeling than that. I think a lot of people have this perceived notion of life, and I don't want to say, it's harsh to kind of say it's selfish, but some people have this notion of life is just based on, life and happiness is based on one person, yourself. While yes, you should be happy with yourself, you should be content with yourself, my happiness doesn't stem just from me. I talked about this in a previous video. It stems from the people around me. All the wealth, all the stuff that I acquire is no good if the people around me aren't basking in that same thing, my immediate family, so on and so forth. If they're not taken care of, then what's the good of it? Um, so that being said, I feel that life, you can, and I know it's kind of harsh to use the word selfish, but some people have this notion of, I'm just going to live life within the walls and just do me and live this life and maybe raise a small family and take care of them. But I feel that it's our responsibility as human beings to contribute on a bigger scale than just our families and so on and so forth. That's the stepping stone, of course, but reach out there. Reach out to people who can do nothing for you. Reach out to people who you don't know, strangers. Reach out to the people, give to the people who are deserving, not just those who are needy, in a sense. These videos, it still amazes me to this day. It baffles me. I can upload a video like this, and it has potential, and I say potential because it's not guaranteed, but it has potential to reach billions of people. I have millions of video views. That baffles me to this day, even though I've been doing this 7 years. That's impact to me. That's the reason I do the things I do. I shot a video on motivation and the reason I do the work I do. I mean, there's all these little things in life that motivate me, whether they are people, whether they are things, whether they are situations and experiences that motivate me to do better, to do more, because I think that is the sole purpose of life, to do more. Like I said earlier, your life is going to redefine as you grow, as you mature, as situations in life change. And that's the thing. In me doing this video, I started doing this YouTube channel to talk about technology and stuff like that. Now I'm talking about life. Now I'm talking about money. Now I'm talking about business. I was a kid in my room around 12 years old, shooting tutorials to try and help people who had the same problems I had. I've created a business out of it. I'm a self-sustained entrepreneur. I can buy the things I've never dreamed of from all of this. And now I'm doing it, it's like as if I'm doing it all over again. I'm talking about things I don't know 110% about. I'm talking about things that I am learning about, I'm growing with. And that's the purpose of life to me, to redefine. I take pride in trying to learn a whole bunch of different things about different subjects, and sharing my thoughts and opinions and educating people in those realms of whether it's technology, philosophy, so on and so forth. I think if you kind of keep on doing this soul searching for life, if you over exhaust yourself, that's not a good thing either. I feel that things come, and I don't want to say like that in a destiny sort of way where like things are just going to happen. No, of course you got to make things happen, but trying to go out there, it's like relationships with anything. I feel like if you're just going out there to look for somebody, if you're just trying to keep on defining somebody, you neglect these things that are in front of you, not just with relationships, but with anything. You keep on trying to find this $1,000,000 idea, you keep on trying to chase this thing that maybe it's not worth chasing, whether it's business or whatever. You're neglecting these other things that are already there, or that have always been there. Life is, it's a different and difficult subject to talk about, but again, I just feel that you can't just live it in this constrained view of the, like, I'm going to go to school, I'm going to get a good job, and I'm going to do this. Because something that impacted me really early on, especially at a young age, and maybe that's the reason I am why I am now, I realized two things. You can grow up and you can get a job and help other people create their dreams and aspirations. Or you can go out there and create your own dreams and aspirations. Now, either or, whatever path you choose is solely up to you. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to work for a big company like Mercedes, like Nike, like Canon, like anything like else, that to share their vision and help them create what they want to create. But you're creating somebody else's original dream, vision, whatever that may be. A luxury car's vision, a sporting goods vision, whatever it may be. Or you can go out there and you can create your own. Now, is it going to be hard? Hell yeah, it's going to be hard. Is life hard? Hell yes, it is hard. I have had my shares of ups and downs. I have had my shares of, stress with this self-employment. This stuff isn't easy. This lifestyle I live, however, luxurious it may seem to others, it takes hard work to get to where I am, and it takes hard work to achieve anything in life. But it's a lot about that journey. It's a lot about not necessarily making it to where you want to make it, but what you learn in between. And that's why I'm saying you got to keep on redefining yourself. Because when you get to here, you want to keep on moving up. You want to keep on doing different things, and I think that's what keeps life interesting. That's what keeps it ever evolving. And I don't make time for these other things, like, there's and some people's definition of how you live life and stuff like that is very, socially different. I don't need all these, like, I don't need drugs and alcohol and all these things uh, to live a happy life, to have a good time. Um, some people, say that there's the finer things in life, there's the simple things in life. Um, that's me. That's me personally. I don't need those sort of things. But again, everybody's, I guess, to each their own. But to me, life is, if that's all your focus is on, to, like, I don't know, to settle down and I don't know, because I'm basing it off of my generation, my age group, and the things I hear from people. Like, they just want to settle down, and all they care about is whether it's just money or these other things. Then for me personally, yeah, I care a lot about money, but I don't value money in itself. I value the things I can get with it. I'm not saying, all these alcohol and drugs are bad ways to live life, but what I'm saying is life is broader than that. Life is, man, there's so many possibilities. There's so many things to do. There's so many things to learn. There's so much better use of your time. I feel like people, they don't understand the full potential of what's out there, what's your ability to learn. With the things, especially in this generation, day and age, are at our fingertips, at our disposal. When I was younger, I was a kid who was on the internet every day. I was somebody who spent a lot of time on the computer, and I still am today. But the difference in the notion of, there's people who just spend all their days on the computer and maybe do nothing. Maybe they play a video game or whatever it may be. And then there's a notion that there's this other side that people don't see, that you can learn everything. You can go out there and you can be culturally diverse. You can learn different languages. You can read literature. You can do all these amazing things because of the technology we have today. So that about wraps it up. I feel that said, continue to redefine yourself. Continue to grow. Continue to try new things. And yeah, you're gonna stumble. There's bad things. There's obstacles in life, and I think we're taught so much to avoid obstacles, where we should learn to overcome them. Whether they're saying no to simple things like, drugs or whatever it may be, you're gonna run into those situations. It's not so much about avoiding them, because you're gonna run into them. There's peer pressure. You're gonna try things. It's about overcoming those things. You're gonna have these situations in life. It is inevitable. It's how you choose to overcome those. It's how you choose what path you're going to take that makes your life your life. So that's the purpose to me, to keep on redefining, to keep on improving, and most importantly, overall, in a good way, contribute to the people around you, to the world at large. With that said, guys, thanks for watching.